How's it going, universe? Welcome to the very first ever episode of Zoobox Gaming. This is a natural gamers reunion. If people don't know, Ryan
I
and
know,
I used
brother.
to we used to run a very successful YouTube channel.
Semi-successful in a certain perspective.
Yeah, relative to
Yeah,
numbers wise, like relative to the small fry numbers, we did okay
yeah.
sometimes. We had a couple that hit.
A couple 20,000.
Yeah. So we actually, you know what, the one we have the most views on, I think. Ryan and I did a let's play of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the PC version that had the
That's right.
multiplayer mod,
Yep.
and Ryan was literally running around. We were assaulting people, I'll just say,
Yep.
and we were
GTA
talking
RP.
and we were talking about PS4 because it was way before PS4 had come out, but they had just given the first press conference or something about it.
It was probably, honestly, from my remembrance, it's just aimless gameplay of us just kind of driving and
Yeah, and assaulting
chasing
people
people. Yeah.
in
And we
prison.
were we were Stu the rapist.
Yeah, Stu
Yeah.
Plinkett. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and basically, because we used to do that occasionally and just do kind of like basically a podcast, because we would just talk about whatever gaming news there was or whatever. And I put PS4 in the title, so I put San Andreas PS4,
Oh.
so it just got tons of fucking.
So that's how it was done. Okay.
It's like when we do it on Zoobox goes, or not just regular Zoobox, the titles have really mattered. So if I do a title like The Secret Sons of Alex Jones, we get tons of fucking views, or relatively tons of views.
By all the right people.
Yeah, just Lane Maxwell should debate Candace Owens. We do pretty well. We do okay. But anyway, so today we're here to talk about the recently released Naughty Dog second chapter in the Last of Us series, The Last of Us Part 2, or Part Do if you're from another country. I don't know, what did you get into the spoilers? I stayed away from most of them. I had a few things that I couldn't avoid, but
You want to know? Well, I guess spoiler alert.
oh,
Or
this is a spoiler cast, everybody. This is full on spoilers.
So the thing that I spoiled for myself. At first, I was pretty reluctant to it, but I just heard all the outrage, so I was like, okay, I have to It can't be as bad as everybody's saying it is. All I saw was the Joel death scene, like the small shitty clip of it.
Yeah.
And then later on, I think after the game released, and I haven't played, I didn't get a chance to play it for a week because I was working, was the Abby sex scene. So I had to look for myself because I had to see it.
Yeah, I think I didn't actually see the sex scene. I saw like the memed version of it where it had like Neil Druckmann's face.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I saw that.
That's the one I saw. Yeah.
But that didn't piss me off like it kind of pissed everybody else off because I just wanted to see how they did it.
Well, because the reason why it weirded people out or whatever you want to call it, it's just one of these fucking things. These fucking nerds, dude. These nerds, they get on there. They're all become like little Puritans. And because everybody assumed Abby was a trans character. Not the case.
She's jacked, though.
She's just buffed. She's just yoked. Whatever.
Let's be honest. Can we talk about that for a second?
Okay, but yeah, we can. But everybody misinterpreted that sex scene as being like a trans sex scene. So the dude was butt fucking her.
Yeah.
When in reality, no, it's just regular sex.
Dan thought it was that's what Dan thought it was.
Yeah, because everybody did. That's what everybody was saying. Because everybody saw the still image of Abby holding the golf club. Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's a tranny. When in reality, no.
Do you like how they explain her muscles? Did you kind of catch that?
Did they explain it? I might have missed that.
No, they don't outwardly explain it, but when you play as Abby the second time, like the first full time, the 10-hour playthrough, the first minute you walk out and there's a giant gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that was kind of their way. Maybe not. I could be.
That's called world building, everybody.
They're like, oh, a gym. Abby's buff. A gym. Let's put a gym right there so people can put it together.
I felt like it is an extension of her character to be that way because of the way they set her up as this kind of vulnerable person, emotionally vulnerable person. So she kind of makes up for that with this physicality. But we can get into that stuff once we get to it. So yeah, I had kind of avoided most of the spoilers myself. Like I said, I knew Joel died. That was the big one.
And I don't mind that he died. Well, I didn't mind that he died.
Well, because that's the thing, right? So everybody finds out Joel dies. Everybody's having a meltdown. The quarter poundering is fucking over there, like whining into his microphone, like
The quarterback.
the fans they want to play as Joel. That's what the fans. It's like, shut the fuck up. If anybody played The Last of Us and thought Joel was going to be the protagonist of The Last of Us 2, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Joel's story is over. They literally had nothing to do with Joel. Joel had nothing to do. His arc is done.
Well, it would have been more interesting to see how he dealt with what he'd done. And they
I
don't
think
explore that at all.
they do a little bit, but they do it through Ellie because Ellie is the POV character. So you only kind of get to see it as Ellie experiences it, right? And I think the other things, it's a lot of context clues as to how Joel actually feels about it. Now, granted, I wish there was more of that. I do wish the game, I wish like the kind of the murder of Joel maybe happened somewhere in the second act or something. Because as soon as it's actually a pretty compelling narrative up until that point, and then the rest of the stuff with Ellie is kind of like, eh. And then once Abby gets in, I actually liked Abby way more than I liked Ellie.
Really? You like Abby?
I thought Abby, the stuff with Abby was way more like engaging because that's the problem. There should have never have been a Last of Us Part 2. Like the story was kind of over, and like the way the places they could go just aren't that interesting.
Well, yeah, it seems like Abby definitely got, as far as aesthetic and environment wise, got like all the good shit, all the good levels, except for at the end. That last bit at the end, that was actually kind of interesting. In California, the biker gang, whatever, that was taking slaves and stuff. That was pretty, but they don't. I mean, whatever.
My favorite part of all that. So you have to do a big stealth mission to get down, basically to find Abby hung up, and you got to save her.
Yeah.
And then you have a screaming fist fight with her, right next to the biker gang. But
there was shit popping off. Come on now. Someone in the water?
Yeah, but nobody was coming looking for them. You think they'd be making some noise down there? That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
But anyways, okay. So the game starts with Joel because you get to play as Joel, then you get to play as Ellie, then you get to play as Abby, and then you go back to Ellie. And what did you think about the beginning of the game? Like when he talks to his brother, because he tells his brother right off the bat, he's just like, "Yo, I kind of fucked us all. I couldn't let them kill her."
What do you mean?
That's the opening scene of the game. Joel and his brother are sitting in that house.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta tell you something. That was the thing about this game, right? This game takes a long time to get going because it doesn't have kind of the big set piece like the first one does, right? The first one starts with a wham, bam, like you're in the story, you're emotionally invested in Joel, like he killed his daughter's dead.
What do you mean that scene? When Joel is talking to Tommy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a second. It's not as fresh in my mind. This is the very first scene of the game.
Yeah, I believe it's the very first scene in the game, and then you're riding the horses up in the woods, and then you ride back into town, and then it shifts into a movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's when he gets home, like you and Tommy are out riding, and then you
he could have killed Abby?
No. Joel, he tells his brother that he didn't let them kill Ellie.
Okay.
Synthesize a cure.
Sorry. Yeah, I was stuck on Abby. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Tommy's like, you can't tell anyone this, right? Or you can't tell Ellie this. Okay, I got.
Well, you can't tell anybody that. They'd be out there trying to kill Joel.
Yeah, but it supposedly it wasn't a guaranteed 100% success rate that she was gonna.
That's what they tell you to make you feel better, Ryan.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. And that's the interesting part of how The Last of Us ends, because as a player, you want him to save Ellie, right? You don't want Ellie to die as a player. But then when you have a moment of reflection of what has actually just happened. And I thought the fact that the game actually dealt with that was smart. That it deals with the fallout of Joel's decision at the end of the first game. and then it becomes
Okay.
about the cycles of violence and revenge,
Right.
and then
Which is the main theme of this game.
yes,
So.
and how it's like an inescapable thing because violence begets violence, and there's cause
Yep.
and effect, and once you hurt one thing, you've actually hurt 10 people, and it just never ends.
Yep. So, which, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, so Ellie is a big old lesbian,
That's okay.
and she was eating these bigot sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
What did you think of the writing overall? Did you think it was cringe? Did you think it was fine?
There were some moments. I honestly, whatever. If you want to explore progressive ideals and stuff, as long as it's done tastefully, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
But
we've talked about this many times. It's about how good the writing is. It doesn't. Nobody would give a shit if it's well done. They just
yeah,
wouldn't.
it was okay. It's better, still better than most, right?
I thought so. I really, uh, until I was done with the game, until I rolled credits, I was like the moment to moment experience I really enjoyed.
Really?
It wasn't until like I reflected on it and I was like, that was kind of very shallow and not that much there. And I
Yeah.
didn't feel like it said very much, which I was like, it doesn't need to say a ton, I guess, but I just felt like it was kind of messy. It was a little all over the place, and I wasn't sure what they were getting at sometimes, and the different layers and the character dynamics. It doesn't because they split the game into those kind of like two different parts.
Yeah.
It feels like both of them get the short shrift,
Do
right?
you feel like it would have been better if it was more linear as far as the storytelling goes?
Maybe.
Do you like? Did you like the flashbacks?
What do you mean? Which ones?
I honestly? I just thought it was like fan service with the Joel and Ellie flashbacks. I don't know. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the minority on that because people loved it because it had Joel and Ellie in it, and that was like a good moment with some good dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I kind of feel like was lacking. The dialogue between the characters like Ellie and what's her name, Dina,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like that great. I mean, I guess I could feel the relationship a little bit, but the whole.
Well,
I don't know.
Dina was never developed enough for you to like really invest in her in any kind of more than superficial way, other than like, oh, it's Ellie's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that's kind
Yeah.
of all you feel. And I think Abby has the same problem on the other side. You don't get to spend enough time in that world to really invest in anybody other than Abby. And I'll be honest, I kind of liked Abby. I felt sympathy for Abby. I could empathize with Abby and like her
Really?
plight and the shit she was going through. And well, imagine your father gets fucking murdered by the psychopath. He comes and murders all your friends and stops the cure to save humanity.
Oh yeah.
You might be a little upset.
Yeah. I mean, I understand her motive, but I didn't really like her as a person.
Well, because she's a conflicted person. I mean, she's not a perfect person or makes all the right decisions or says all the right things, but she's like a very like traumatized person. And like I
Yeah.
said, I think the physicality is an externalization of this insecurity because now she wants to be able to protect herself because she doesn't feel like she has anybody. She's kind of mistreated by this boyfriend or this guy that's with them. Like he's kind of seems like he's using her, but she's also like not really sure where she fits in his life, and
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. I didn't really care for her or her slew of characters. Like I didn't feel anything when Ellie was killing them all. Like I don't like even when they killed the pregnant lady, I was just like, okay. Like,
I'm glad you're dead.
what are you doing out here anyway, you fucking idiot? That was an issue I did have. Why was she in the game when you
Who?
play as Abby the first time? That
Who?
pregnant chick. The pregnant chick. She's like, really far along, and then she's like, yeah, I got
well,
clear. I barely got cleared today. Like,
well,
bitch.
she's with the guy, with her like that
Well,
dude.
not at the end. Not at the end. That part I understand why, because they're gonna go leave and go to Santa Monica or whatever. I'm talking about like that little mission you go with
No,
her and
yeah, I think it's because it was a functional thing. They're like, well, they have to spend some time together because we're trying to make it impactful when she gets killed, and
right.
it just didn't work. It
Yeah.
doesn't land because then you are distracted. Like, why is there this pregnant woman with us? Like, we're about to go.
Do you think that the game adequately gets across that Ellie actually? Do you think it's within her character to want to get revenge like this? Like, did it feel that way, especially considering she felt so disconnected from Joel at the end? I mean,
yeah, but the reveal at the end, and this I thought was a stupid reveal because it undermines it. Because you are asking, like, well, why is Ellie? I mean, you understand that Ellie is conflicted, right? Like, you get it.
Of course,
you get that she's conflicted, that she really does like care about Joel, really does kind of love him, but she can't forgive him for this because she doesn't know what that means for herself and like and humanity writ large. So you do understand that, but at the end of the game, they just show you the scene where it's like, well, she said that she's going to try and that she wants to be Joel back in her life after a period of time or whatever it's been. And that's the night before Joel leaves for to go on the patrol. And I was like, well, they could have, if they had just shown me that, then maybe I would have felt a little.
Yeah, a little bit more impact when he does get killed.
But they're also trying to. They're trying to make you feel conflicted because you see Ellie conflicted throughout the entire game. They're trying to reinforce that conflict because she's like, I had a chance to make amends and I didn't. Now it's too late.
Don't you think if they would have introduced Abby and kind of you play through her story first and then killed Joel, you would have felt a little bit more conflicted about Joel's death? Because I did not like her because she killed Joel, and I have a couple issues with that whole opening sequence with Joel, Tommy, and Abby. When Joel saves her, he immediately tells her his name, and when they walked into a basement with a bunch of random individuals and they've gone through so much and they should know better at this point, they just pretty much tell him, yeah, we got something down the hill, a couple hours down the hill, and I'm Tommy and this is Joel. And it's just kind of like
it comes off as a little contrived, right?
Yeah. Like, why couldn't you have like kind of developed that scene a little better?
Because I do think what they were trying to kind of do is like imply that Joel had kind of gotten soft and had kind of settled into his life. Like, so when you go to his house before you leave with Ellie, you see like all of his whittling, the books that he's reading. He's just kind of become a man of leisure.
I don't buy it. It didn't feel right.
Well, that's the reason why. Because at the end of The Last of Us, the first game, the Doctor is black, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, and they retcon that. And the reason Neil Druckmann gave, I think I read this, was that he wanted it so when Joel met her, he would have more of like a familial bond because she looked like Ellie, kind of.
She looks nothing like Ellie.
Yeah, I thought it was like, because she's a white person. I was like, that's racist, Neil.
Well, who cares?
Well, it was kind of like, I kind of was like, that's fucking weird, Neil. But
I mean, whatever. It's his fucking. If he wants to tell the story that way, whatever.
Yeah, if he wants to be some kind of Nazi, I mean, that's his business.
I don't really mind. But also, that's another issue that I'm kind of seeing. People are having, criticism, some valid, some people are kind of just being nitpicky. But like the voice actors and Neil Druckmann included are being really, really defensive.
Yeah, they are.
So it's like, listen, it's not a 10 out of 10.
It's not. It's not. And I think most of that lands on the story, though. Like, I think if we're going to just talk about as a video game, mechanically, it is probably the best playing Naughty Dog.
Extremely enjoyable. Yeah.
It's 100. It's like not as good as Metal Gear Solid 5 as like a stealth game because they do a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's pretty damn good. It's pretty fun. I actually had a good time like stealthing in this game. It's so fucking annoying. Yeah,
I had some great moments. The dogs were fucking annoying though.
Yes, they were. Oh my god.
I guess obviously that's on purpose. But the whole aspect, the game mechanic of being prone and being able to crawl, just changed so many different things you could do. It was a lot of fun. You could actually aim from being prone.
Yes, which I didn't realize until about halfway through the game.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I just never even tried. I just assumed you couldn't.
Oh yeah, you got to do that, dude. And you can craft while you're laying down. People were kind of shitting on the gameplay a little bit because it wasn't innovative enough from the first one. But I didn't really what do you want?
I thought it was just a way better version of the first one.
Yeah, it was just
added some new mechanics and some new stuff to use that broadened out the gameplay.
The next evolution. It was fun.
I mean, like, if you go back and play the first Last of Us, Because I had played the Last of Us remastered version like a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and yeah, dude, the Last of Us Part 2 blows that game out of the fucking water control wise. I mean, that for original game is pretty janky,
So
relative.
so kind of back to the story. Sorry to jump all over the place. The Do you think people kind of have a honeymoon phase or kind of a honeymoon thought about the first game story? Like, is it really that great?
I said this when it first came out. If anybody wants to go look for the Natural Gamers, there's actually one of the last. Oh, not one of the last. One of the. I did an on-camera review of The Last of Us, and what I thought was, I was like, if you don't read a lot of books and you don't watch a lot of movies, this is amazing.
Okay.
But if you're familiar with this kind of dystopian or post-apocalyptic fiction, if you just are more well-read, like it's really not. It's like it's great for a video game.
Okay.
It's impressive for a video game. The fact that you can wring that kind of drama out of a video game is pretty impressive, which is cool because, in the future, video games are ripe for that, right? Like, because really, actually, literally investing into a character because you control them.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
in a way,
Mass Effect's a great example of that.
exactly, right? You feel like you're actually involved in the story, and the player, creates attachments to the characters. I don't know if Last of Us really gets there. It's like watching a good movie.
But the characters are so much more, I guess, intriguing. Even like the kind of the side characters you come across in the first one, like the gay guy in that town.
Yeah.
Like just the short amount of time you spend with him, I felt a better connection to him, or I was more invested in him and his story more than Dina or what is Tommy? Not Tommy. What's the Asian guy's name?
Lee?
Jesse.
Lee.
God,
racist. Is his name Wang?
Yeah. I kind of just didn't care about any of the side characters, and I didn't care about spending time with them because the dialogue was shitty.
Well, because you don't because with that guy, I think his name is Bill, the guy from the first game, right?
Yeah.
He's like lives in that town.
Yeah.
You get a whole section with him, and you get to learn all about him in this short period of time. And the new one, people just come in and out. Like they're not part of the. You don't spend any type of like specific time with them. There's no set pieces built around.
Which you do.
But there's no set pieces built around them where that informs their characters.
Like Manny, what the fuck was the point of him being in that game other than just being? I don't know.
Who's Manny? I don't even remember who the fuck is Manny.
Remember when you're chasing Tommy, the sniper, and which was like a really cool sequence. That was pretty sweet. The chase.
Yes, it was. Yes. Okay.
And then he just gets killed unceremoniously, which is fine. But
they
do a lot. Yeah. They do a lot of that in this game. They just kill people. Just there's no tension or anything being built for a long period of time, at least.
Like I think it worked with Joel because I think
but there was tension.
But the point of that is that it's shocking, and that
it's shocking good.
I don't know why people were so surprised that was going to happen. I don't understand that.
As soon as you see them in the situation there, and it's over. Especially if you knew any of the
spoilers.
Especially if
you know the spoilers, yeah.
I think I would have.
I think I would have guessed it.
Like this is happening now, but why not add some drama, man? Add something. Like I just didn't feel a connection to these characters, and when these characters are killed, I don't fucking care. Like Abby should have If Abby would have killed Dina at the end, that would have been fucking sick.
Well, she fucking kills Jesse. You find out she doesn't kill Tommy.
Yeah, but
she's killed Tommy, but
she's whatever. She gets shot in the head, right? And then there's no mourning of him. There's no anybody talk about him later. There's nothing.
Yeah,
not even when Abby and Dean are in the house. There's no mention of JJ. That's the baby's name. That's the only little bit of dialogue. The only thing you're going to talk about after this dude has got like shot in the head in front of you.
I guess you got to find an organic way to make that work. I guess maybe
the baby.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is because it does a flash forward. And so even though it's been a long time for them, for us, it's been 30 seconds. So it's like.
Yeah, but show me. Give me something.
Why are you guys happy? What are you doing washing dishes? Don't you care about Jesse?
Well, not just something, man. It's a little side piece.
Ellie is
Little
all like, I
comment.
wish that I had Jesse's girl. She should have been playing that on the guitar.
That whole sequence was just kind of stupid.
What?
Walking around doing chores and picking up shit.
Oh,
Actually,
that's the immersive video game. What are you talking about?
there was a good moment. That did create a good moment in the barn. That was when she like has PTSD or whatever and
Yeah,
anxiety.
yeah.
I don't know. And do you think it fit Tommy's character arc with him being so hateful and vengeful at the end of the game? Do you think that was that was kind of weird?
I thought it was weird. I mean, maybe I don't know. See, but him going after them in the first place is weird because he even like speaks out against it. But I guess the point is he wants to do it so Ellie doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So in a way, he's trying to protect Ellie, but then to turn around and be like, Ellie, go find these people at the end.
Super mad about it while she has a family, and the fact that he wouldn't understand that and be happy for her is just weird.
Well, the whole last part of the game, well, actually, honestly, one of the better sections of the game in general, as like gameplay wise, and it was kind of exciting. Doesn't really make sense. Like when Abby walks away.
Yeah.
Go. Be done. You've made the point. Ellie got it too. Ellie understood in that moment what had just happened. She understood the cycle and that she was going to lose a lot more if she didn't just fucking stop. She was going to lose Dina if she didn't stop.
Well, she did.
Well, she ends up losing her by her own. I'm saying Abby was about to slit her throat.
Oh, hell yeah. She should have done it.
But Abby, that's why Abby is actually not a bad person.
Right. Well, she's redeemed.
Abby was working off of complete instinct, just complete anger and vitriol. Like, I mean, think about this, dude. So she was part of the Fireflies. That was important to her. Her dad was the doctor.
Yeah, terrorists.
They weren't terrorists.
They were terrorists. They were like eco-terrorists, I thought. Not eco-terrorists, but they were terrorists. Because they were blowing up. They were blowing up all the checkpoints in the first Last of Us when you're in Boston and killing all the soldiers and civilians. They were like the IRA. Yeah.
Okay. All right, maybe I might be
fucking terrorist.
Well, anyways, but she was a little girl. How'd she know? And so relative to her though, that's her family. That's her father. Like I at least can understand the impetus of being like, not only did you kill my father, you fucked up like the saving humanity.
Yeah.
You killed all my friends. The Fireflies basically disband because of this.
Yeah, that's their problem.
And then she has to join the Washington Liberation Front, the WLF.
Yeah.
Antifa. No,
that's what I was thinking. If you read a lot of the in-game,
it's very
stuff. It's very parallel to what's going on right now. Because basically the
autonomous zones,
the powers that be, or I guess for lack of a better term, the federal government kind of just gave up and they let them take over. Because they were being overrun and they gave up. So it's kind of like, I was like, whoa. Like
am I in the chop? I mean, the game takes place in Seattle. Parts of it.
Maybe that's just a glimpse into what could have been if Chop was allowed to.
The whole game is just the Chaz.
Well, that's kind of what it is, an odd parallel. But I can see it. I don't know if they were trying to make connections because obviously this.
No, I mean,
forever ago.
Because I think you can find parallels between any type of like groups like that or revolutionary types. It depends on your perspective. I think that's part of the game was kind of trying to show you whatever. It depends on the prism by which you are experiencing these things.
Do you think Abby? Like, do you think the same theme or the same suffering that Ellie experiences, Abby experiences? Or do you think the game unfairly criticizes Ellie and kind of puts Abby on a higher, I guess, pedestal of morality?
I think they actually put Abby on the higher pedestal, but I think this is a failure of writing that they did not know what to do with Ellie. They did not know, other than her having the singular purpose to go kill Abby, she like doesn't learn anything until the very fucking end of the game.
And that's like all that's happening when you play Ellie. It's just pure revenge. There's no like interesting subplots going on. Oh, I guess Dina was pregnant and their relationship.
That was the most boring part of the game. Like when I was playing through that first 10 hours, first
Yeah.
12 hours, whatever it is. I was like, this is fun to play, but I'm kind of bored. Like it became a podcast game. I just like
But
fucking hit the podcast
but
on.
but at least when you play as Ellie, and maybe this is kind of nitpicky or maybe a shitty criticism, but as Ellie, at least I know what I'm doing. I know what the goal is. I know what the A to B is. Okay, she wants to get revenge on the people who killed Joel. When you play as Abby, she kind of just goes where the story takes her, and I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it doesn't really reveal itself until the last little bit with Abby, where you find out that she's actually wants to get back in touch with like the surviving Fireflies. Like you don't really know that until the very end.
Right, but like that whole 10-hour segment up until when you fight Ellie.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, it feels a little aimless. And then they had that cult that they did nothing with.
Yeah.
They foreshadow it for 10, 12 hours and then do nothing with it.
Well, what do you mean? There's that huge sequence at the end where there's a huge raid on the island, and
I know, but there was all this stuff with the central figure. This.
Oh yeah, they don't really expand on anything.
I guess that they're like homophobic or something. That they're basically ultra Christian people. Like, why wasn't that like a whole deal? It's like over and done with pretty quick relative to like the larger narrative.
Yeah, there could have been more of world building behind that and give you a better understanding of where they come from. A lot of that is left to reading shit in game off to the side.
What if Ellie had to join them to get Abby?
Well, how did you feel about Lev? Did you think that was done tastefully, or do you think it was a little shoehorned in?
The guy, the Abby's dude?
No, Lev, the girl who wants to be a boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought that was pretty tastefully done. And I think I could say like as a person, like I'm like, you talk about this with kids, it weirds me out. Honestly, it really does.
Yeah.
I don't really care how people feel about that. I think you gotta really think about that.
Like, do you think that maybe I don't know, maybe this is small-minded, I don't know, whatever. Do you think the type of environment in the world they lived in would lead or be able to allow a person to have those types of
feelings?
Feelings or conflicts about identity, or do you think that?
Yeah, I think no matter what context you live in, those things will happen because I think people are people.
Okay.
And I don't, they don't get into it very much, so it's kind of a passing thing.
On purpose. Which was
it's just not that big. It's not. She's not a big enough, or he is not a big enough part of the story for them to focus on it for that long. But they give it a lot of time, and it's all the dialogue with them walking.
How do you feel about? Yeah, I would say Lev was probably the best side character that was done, because at least.
Yeah, that's what I mean about like why couldn't this have happened to Abby earlier? And like that's just a bigger part of her story. Like so you needed something to fill all this time.
Yeah.
Instead of giving me more rote zombie shit, give me.
How did you feel about when Lev, kind of at the end of Abby's chapter section, do you feel like it made sense or just for the sake of plot that Lev just wanted his mother's acceptance? Like just to go off so aimlessly and put everybody's lives in jeopardy, and they're going to follow you, and there's big raids happening, and then just for the sake of your mother's acceptance of who you are as a person, you end up sacrificing your sister who, you know what I mean? Do you think it made sense?
Well, I think that is just, supposed to be a tragic moment. You have a young kid who wants their parents' acceptance. I mean, fuck, people feel like that when they're adults. I mean, and I guess like saying like, I don't, I understand what you mean in the sense that I think it is like slightly contrived in the way that it plays out, but the intention or the feelings behind it, I think are just realistic. But I can, the execution of it and how it plays into the game, it's like, well, I guess they wanted to have this character have this arc. So they have to kind of shoehorn it in there. And then that gets them to the raid. That gets them to where they need to be for an action set piece. And which is a plot device. Which is a cool part of the game, honestly. I mean,
yeah, it was cool. It was especially like, that was probably the best part of Abby, is the sneaking around the camp before all this shit goes down.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It was an enjoyable game for what it was. I think Naughty Dog deserved the benefit of the doubt. Definitely wasn't as bad as everybody said it was
Well,
going
because
to be.
everybody said that before they played the fucking game. That was the
Yeah.
most annoying thing to me.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
it goes both ways. All the 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. Like, come on, you guys, it is not a 9 out of 10. If anything, it's barely an 8, and that's like if you're being super generous.
Yeah, well, because it deals with themes and serious issues that most video games don't, right? And it's dark, and it was depressing, and it was a trudge to get through sometimes, and so that just kind of elevates it in people's mind because they're like, that's important. It means that's important. And I don't know if I totally agree with that. I just think it was messy. I will give them credit for this. They fucking took some big ass swings. Like, killing Joel the way they did is a big swing.
Yeah,
That's a swing.
We gotta talk about that.
But that's a creative choice that is like basically like we are fucking gonna do something here. We're gonna try something. Having the game switch over to Abby halfway through is a huge risk. Huge creative choice.
Yes. Which is, I don't know. I don't think they should have killed Joel like that. I think they should have introduced us to Abby a little bit more. Or maybe, just give us something so it's not these no-named people who killed Joel and then you have to play as her.
Yeah, but don't you think that the point is to have her do this horrific thing and then force you to see her humanity through her section of the game?
But
to show you that like everybody is this person.
I guess, but I didn't feel that. I felt
Joel
disdain for her.
Joel is that person. Joel is like Abby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that, but
Joel is a better character, better written character. Rather.
Yeah. I kind of think they did Joel a little dirty. I think he went down like a bitch.
Well, what is he going to do? He's getting fucking hit in the head with a goddamn golf
I don't
club.
think Joel would put himself in that situation. That's just how I personally feel.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And I don't think they would just immediately tell him who the fuck they are. And then tell him that that kind of bothers me.
What if the whole first 6 hours of the game was just you as you switch between Ellie and Joel and Abby and you're at the encampment. Abby has to infiltrate the encampment.
Well, I think it would have been, I guess, yeah, that would have been.
Then she seduces Ellie.
Yeah.
And then she kills Joel in his sleep.
I just don't think the shock value of the death of Joel was enough. It wasn't satisfying to me.
But do you think that's because you knew that beforehand?
But I might have known it beforehand, but I didn't know it was going to happen then.
Well, I saw it coming a mile away. As soon as Abby was like, well, we're looking for this guy, I was like, oh, this is the person that kills Joel.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but I didn't think it was going to happen within the first act.
What is it, the first 3 hours of the game, probably?
I'm not asking you to fucking give me everything I want, but even that last scene that you were talking about, I don't feel satisfied with that either. That's not satisfying.
Which last scene?
When Ellie's like, I can try to forgive you, or I can begin to forgive you, or whatever.
Well, it made sense. Like, that's an appropriate thing. It's like if somebody told you that by saving you, they damned humanity, or that's the way it feels. Like, I don't know how a person would react. How the fuck do you react to that? I don't know.
Yep. That's the last thing Joel says in the game. Yep.
Sure as hell. Yep.
Listen, God of War is a better game than that, 100%.
God of War is about fucking throwing axes around and fucking bitches. I love God of War. I don't know. It's okay. So let's talk about the end and of the game.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, when Ellie cuts down Abby from the cross thing, her and Lev.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it, bitch. Don't fucking make her do this. She's been through enough.
I know.
She doesn't even have her muscles anymore. She's got nothing.
I know.
She's been hanging up in a fucking tree, and Ellie's like, let's fight. And then she still barely she loses.
I know. She hasn't eaten or drank water probably in days, and it's just...
You're going to make her fight you?
Well, didn't that felt it like that didn't why not that be the moment where Ellie realizes like this is not
Yeah,
worth it?
and then helped Abby escape.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
yeah,
just and
add a
then
little
just
bit more drama. They have to fight together or do
yeah, and
something.
have some sort of psychological thing where she just like watches Abby fucking on the boat going into the fog like she does, but not just have this dumb fight.
Yeah.
That I thought the fight was really dumb. I thought it undercut because the problem with the fight was it already happened.
Yeah.
It happened in the fucking movie theater.
But you weren't Ellie, Sean.
Yeah, but you weren't Ellie. You got to get your Ellies.
Let's be honest. When you were fighting Ellie, did you let Ellie kill you?
No.
Oh, I did.
It's the game just end.
Yeah, you have to keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be like a screen. Neil Druckmann walks on screen like, I know how you feel, sir, but you gotta win.
But yeah, the ending. Honestly, the whole revenge thing, I just was not a fan of. It's so vanilla. It's so fucking predictable. Nothing interesting happens.
Well, it is predictable. You know that they're gonna come to some sort of like, oh, like doing this, we need to stop because the cycle of violence, the cycle of trauma that we were putting ourselves through is just we need to stop.
And the Tommy thing just pissed me off.
Yeah, that was weird. It was weird. I don't know why you couldn't have had it just be somebody else.
Why couldn't have been like a more emotional scene between the two of them? Like Tommy, like I guess you can still have him have the motivation to want to go get these motherfuckers, but like have him still a little bit more conflicted of everything that's gone on and how many people have suffered.
Instead of being like, "Shut up, Dina, you bitch!
Yeah.
I'll come around when I want." Yeah.
It's just like
I like how Ellie's just like a man. She's like, Dina, go wait in the other room. We've got to talk. That's not how it happens, but it feels like that.
Yeah. And I feel like the game shits on Ellie. It doesn't do her any justice.
Yeah, because I don't know. They just like they didn't know what to do with her. They didn't know what to do with her. I mean, I thought the melancholy ending was appropriate in some respects because you got to think about it from this concept of like this child who's lived in this world that's been completely traumatized, her father figure's now been murdered. She found the empty pursuit of violence and revenge. She can't even play guitar. She got 2 stubs. She can't even fucking make chords anymore. That was probably the saddest part of the game, honestly, because that's when, not because but like just because her connection to Joel is now even more severed. There's even more of a dissonance. There's even more of this like ache. She can't even touch this thing anymore.
Yep.
That's it was kind of a powerful moment. Leaving behind the guitar is a powerful moment of growth for her as a person, like saying like, well, now I'm going to have to go become my own person, which I assume, and I believe they are planning on doing a part 3.
Oh,
so
they have to be.
But
just after everything Ellie went through, and you get to that, I don't know, that dream almost seemed like it wasn't real when she's with Dina and the baby.
I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a fantasy sequence.
And she and she gets to that point, goes through all this suffering. She lost Joel and her friends and all this, and then just to pick it up and do it all over again, just because of what? Just because Abby's still not dead. Then kind of like what you said, it was resolved. It was resolved in that theater.
Yeah,
it felt resolved.
It did. It felt resolved. It really did.
And
it's like this weird thing where it's like, no, Ellie's gonna get the last word. Ellie's gonna make the choice. It's like the choice was made for Ellie. Like actually, Ellie did make a choice. She did make a choice because when you're confronted with like somebody you love about to be fucking murked, she made a choice. She made the choice.
Yeah.
And I guess you can make the argument, well, it's coercive. It's like a coercive version of making that choice. But at the same time, we just play for another 2 hours to learn the same lesson again. Like
it was weird. It was odd. Yeah. It
felt odd. Felt like a prologue. Like it wasn't the end of the game. It was like a prologue. It was
I guess that's kind of what they want to do now because they did the same thing in Uncharted 4 where they have like this little end scene where you're Nathan and you have her daughter and it's like, fuck off, just end the game.
Well, at least in Uncharted, it felt a little bit more appropriate because you're like, the adventure continues. Like the spirit of adventure lives on
Right.
through the next
There
generation.
was some finality in that, and this
Yeah.
is still open, and it feels like it almost feels like Ellie didn't learn her lesson, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see in part 3.
Well, that's the thing. Like, this does not do a good job of exploring her character. She becomes very one note.
No, because you're with Abby for 10 hours.
I know, and I guess you could apply the same thing to Abby. You're like, I don't get to know you enough.
Or care. I don't care. I didn't care. I didn't like Abby. I didn't like her.
I mean, maybe it's just like the tedious nature of the gameplay after a certain point because it is kind of redundant. Like, by the time the game was over, I was like, I'm ready to be done.
The zombie shit was, for me, that was the most redundant. Those sequences.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I got through that sec. Now I don't have to fight zombies for like fucking 20 minutes or whatever it is. I enjoyed fighting humans. That's like was the most enjoyable aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure.
The AI is relatively smart.
Yeah, because they gaslight you. They'll like
come from you from all directions.
Get your flank and to have while guys are distracting you up above. And...
How did you feel about them calling the names of their comrades when they get killed? Marissa or whatever the fuck they say.
I didn't even notice.
Dude, the brutality of that game was awesome, and I do like how they use Abby's physicality.
When she like fucking snaps somebody's neck.
Yeah, it's satisfying in a fucked up way.
Yeah, but it's like the Terminator.
I just don't think, it was that great of a game as overall.
What do you give it out of 10?
I give it like a 6.
I would say a 6.5. If I was
definitely,
generous,
it's
maybe
definitely
a 7.
not a fucking 1 or a 2. Like people are being genuinely.
No, dude, but people review bombed it fucking 2 hours after it came out. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's not.
I think things like that are so unhealthy and so unhelpful for art criticism or culture in general. It's just like all of these outrage mongers that like just make video after video or post after post like about shit that they don't even know the context of. Like it's just so fucking mind-numbing. Well, I don't understand defending it at all.
It goes on both ways though, because that they got fucking review bombed positively by all the critics. So
yeah, I know that. I understand.
And then supposedly people who gave it negative reviews were contacted.
Well, yeah, I did hear something about that. Yes.
So it was just like, well, that's weird.
At least one of them was.
Was it Kotaku?
Like, did you even play the game? Like, we've improved, but it was about controls, though. It wasn't about the story.
Okay, well then,
about mechanics of the game.
But regardless, who cares?
No, I know they should just
like shut the fuck up. It's the most successful fucking PlayStation 4 game
ever. Actually,
so it's come on.
Yes, because most people don't pay attention to all the shit that goes on. YouTube, whatever. Like people aren't the average person is not paying attention. All they see is like, oh, The Last of Us Part 2, fucking rad, buying it.
And I was like really looking forward to playing multiplayer. I was not aware that there wasn't any multiplayer.
Aren't they doing it later though? I think they're gonna. Yeah.
Well, nothing recently said that, but there was an article because I looked it up and it was from a month or two before the release of the game. The first Last of Us multiplayer was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same gameplay and combat, just with other humans, other people. Mm-hmm. So you got to get really crafty. It's fucking awesome. There's some great moments.
It gets really intense, yeah. It does. Yeah, I hope they do actually add that in at some point. I do think they are. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm just sick of I just want a really solid game. Hopefully Ghost of Tsushima or whatever it's called is solid.
It comes out
kind of concerned, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be, I don't know if it'll be your cup of tea. It seems like it's going to be a little like Bloodborne, Bushido Blade type deal.
I don't know, but it doesn't look too intense.
It looks sick though.
Let's hope so.
I got to roll the dice. See, I'm having hard drive problems.
Right after space-wise?
No, like dying.
Oh shit.
So I bought The Last of Us Part 2. I played it for about 4 hours. Had to completely reformat my PS4.
Did you lose everything?
Lost everything. And then to make sure, so I leave it in rest mode, and so far it's worked. It hasn't like shit
That's
out of me yet.
dangerous.
I leave it in rest mode, and
Well, that's the first generation, right?
yeah, I still have the first generation. I was like, figures, dude, like 6 months before PS5 comes out, and this thing's gonna die.
There's probably something in the software that they activated in an update to fucking
Kill.
yeah, to terminate them, dude.
Dude, well, like I've had 2 chances to buy a Switch Lite. I almost pulled the trigger twice.
So are those back on the market, or Nintendo Switch OGs
They show up,
back up, or
no? I saw a Switch Lite in a Walmart.
I've seen
was
the
there.
lights.
It was in front of me, and then I saw online the other day the Augusta Target had one, and I almost
Switch.
No, a Lite. I only want a Lite for myself. Sarah already has a Switch, and I even got in the car and everything. I started driving, and I was like, "Nah, this is stupid. I'll play this for fucking 2 weeks."
Yeah. I mean, I was really into it, but I haven't found a game that I'm like.
Dude,
I mean, Breath of the Wild's whatever. It's really not that great, in my opinion. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, you just get into it. You'll like
Dude,
it.
I've played it for like 10 hours. I just don't care. I don't
care.
care.
Oh, dude, you haven't even. You gotta play. You gotta keep going. I played through that game.
I just don't care. I don't, and I know I'm in the minority, and I accept that, but I just
No,
don't.
it's a wildly overrated game. But once you get into like the actual like doing the challenge dungeons or the challenge rooms or whatever the fuck they're called, once you start doing the shrines, yeah. Once you start doing that stuff and you start accumulating like your good armors and stuff, like it gets really fun. I do think it is overrated though, for sure.
I really want to play Fire Emblem 3 Houses or 2 Houses. That looks fucking awesome. And there's also this other one. Maybe that's the Fire Emblem game. I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's almost like a tactical. What are the like? What's Command and Conquer called? RTS?
RTS, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but you control
different characters. That's Fire Emblem.
Right, but and there's like some sick animation. You still have a central character, like not a central character, but characters you control, and they have squads with them.
Yeah, you have your leader characters, and in Fire Emblem they can die.
Yeah,
changes the story.
I think that's what I'm gonna buy.
There's that. There's a Octopath Traveler.
I know that's more OG JRPG, right?
Yeah, that's like a Final Fantasy or like a Dragon Quest, whatever. And then there's a new one that came, or not a new one, but it's new to Switch, which is Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered.
I don't want to play that piece of garbage.
Oh, dude, that game is fucking great. I played it on the Wii. I played it on the Wii. It's a great game.
I've heard criticisms about the second one.
The second one, I did not like the second one. I couldn't get into it. But it's just like a spiritual sequel. It's not even a direct sequel. But
so the first one's worth it.
Xenoblade Chronicles is just it's got a decent story for a JRPG, interesting premise, and it's just a fun game. Just a fun grindy JRPG. I loved it. Because I seriously, when I was gonna get the Switch, that's what I was gonna get. I was like, I'm gonna get this.
The Switch Lite, the Xenoblade.
Yeah, I was gonna get Xenoblade Chronicles, and then I'm borrowing Dragon Quest and the other one from you. So as soon as Sarah's got a lull time with the Switch, I'm gonna jump on those. I started Zelda. I started the Zelda.
I fucking love that game.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's one of the best games I've ever played. I'm talking about Zelda Link's Awakening, guys.
You just gotta play the other Zelda game.
I enjoyed it so much. I just couldn't believe it. I'd much rather play that than Breath of the Wild. Why don't they make a new one of those instead of just fucking remaking old ones? It's so fucking annoying.
Well, if you want a game like that, you could go play the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, but I don't want to fucking play a new one. I want updated graphics, dude.
Link to the Past is very good.
It's on there. Yeah, I played it for like a minute. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Oh, you're crazy.
It's literally the same thing.
It literally is.
Yeah,
it's like in the same gameplay style, except it's not nearly as pretty.
Link's Awakening looks great.
Link's Awakening does look good. It's got some frame rate issues, but other than that,
really,
yeah. Every once in a while, it gets a little weird, slow down hiccups, and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Nintendo. Good job with your optimization. You know who doesn't do that? Neil Druckmann wouldn't let that happen.
No, he wouldn't.
He
That's why
wouldn't.
Last of Us
He
2
said
is a masterpiece.
he's like, this is not the Naughty Dog way.
I'm excited for whatever they do next. Even if
Yeah,
it's Last of Us 3, I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm
yeah,
gonna play it. Like
yeah.
Naughty Dog, for all their faults, they execute as far as the gameplay, the mechanics, and the graphics, fucking beautiful games.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of times would just stand there and like swivel the camera and be like, "Fuck, this looks
Yeah,
so good. This looks fucking." I was like, "Look at this. Look what people are fucking bitching about."
I know.
This like fully realized world with recognizable landmarks and overgrown. Like it's crazy. It's
Would
awesome.
you recommend someone to play this game?
If they had played the first one, they liked it. Yes,
I would say even if you didn't play the first one,
I think the gameplay is solid on its own.
it'd probably be
Honestly.
better if you didn't play the first one. And you probably wouldn't hate this one as much.
I see, but that's the thing. I think it's just messy. I don't think I understand what it's trying to do. I don't think it totally succeeds in that, and I think it is kind of just a little messy. It's all over the place, and I wish it was. I wish the narrative was stronger, and the reason why it's not super strong is because they took some chances that just didn't always pan out.
But they took chances and they didn't fully commit on those chances. It felt like they didn't,
for some of
they
them,
didn't go all in.
I mean, it's a fucking long game. It felt long.
Yeah, but there's so many. I don't know. There's so many things you could have taken out. I don't know.
No, there are things you could have taken out. I think you could have shortened both of those sections of the game and probably had a better game. If that game was like 18 hours, I think it maybe overstays its welcome a little bit.
Well, yeah, it feels like it's gonna end a couple different times.
Like I was really ready to be fucking.
Part of that's me playing the game for hours and hours straight. I think that's part of it. I would probably enjoy it more if I didn't do that. But.
Sure. Well, I mean, I played it over like a 2-week period.
I played it in 2 days. Beat that bitch.
Shit. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Damn son. I even went back and watched some of the story version. You know,
the 11-hour cut.
Yeah, it's like 11-hour one's an 8-hour one. I go with the 8-hour one. The 11-hour one's got a lot of walking, talk,
dialogue stuff.
Yeah, all the dialogue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like if there's 11 hours of that in the game. So there's 11 hours of a 25-hour game where you're not actually doing anything except pushing forward.
It seems like, I guess it didn't seem like that.
No, it doesn't, because it's but half the time you're actually just pushing forward. Interesting. It's like playing a goddamn Metal Gear Solid game. You got to play a 9-hour game and 6 hours of cinematics.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 4 blows that game out of the water, dude. That's one of my all-time favorite games.
One of the most indulgent, over-the-top games ever made. No, yeah, I mean, as a Metal Gear Solid fan, I love that game.
I wasn't really a fan.
I know, which is weird.
That game.
Which is so weird.
That game. The gameplay is phenomenal.
Oh, the gameplay is so much fun. But you didn't. How did you bounce off of Metal Gear Solid 5?
I like the gameplay, but they spent so much more time with the story in 4. They were so much more invested in it.
Well, because 4 is the fan service ending to the series.
If 5 would have maintained the tone that it began with, then I probably would have played it all the way through.
I agree. I mean, I've played that game probably over 100 hours.
Yeah, and they and there was issues with Kojima and Konami, and it's definitely apparent.
Yeah, I know, but dude, the moment-to-moment gameplay is so good.
It's amazing.
There's nothing like going and putting balloons on dudes and fucking watching them go up in the air, man.
Yeah,
so cool. All right, well, do you have any final thoughts? Any parting thoughts about?
No, it was a solid game. No, let me take that back. It wasn't solid. It was like semi-solid. Not great.
Are we still talking about Metal Gear Solid?
Well, that's probably why that word's in my head, honestly.
Dun 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 dun. Ellie. Yeah, I'd give it about I'd give it a 6.5.
Wow, that's generous.
6.5 or 7, depending on my mood.
I'd say 6.
I think the gameplay is way above average, and it is disappointing that the story does not feel coherent or cohesive enough to really feel impactful. I think it makes its point way too early. I think it's too obvious, but I do appreciate the creative risks they took. And it sucks that it didn't always pay off, but I do like that there is a creative person that's like, we're going to try something that not everybody's going to like. And we're just going to try it.
Well, they accept that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
they're fucking smug about it.
After the fact they happened, I can understand after the leaks and the way people were talking about it, just so fucking like it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Like really dumb, big galaxy brain takes.
I mean, if any company or developer should be given the benefit of the doubt, it's Naughty Dog.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like when you hear these out of context spoilers and then people just made their minds up. But that's the reality. It's not a lot of people. It's like a fucking minority of people that are.
It's a loud minority. It's the internet culture. There's a bunch of meme lords out there.
Yeah. Like seriously, Jeremy from the Quartering, you're a fucking cancer. That guy from Geeks and Gamers, you're a fucking cancer.
Oh shit! You're calling him out.
You're a fucking cancer on the commentary community. Whatever that is, you're all cancerous, but they might be the most leechy, shallow. Like, people accuse Tim Pool of just like reading an article and giving a little. I mean, holy shit!
How dare you? Tim Pool fucking gives his personal and unique opinions.
No, but I'm saying like people accuse Tim Pool of that. But if you've ever watched like Geeks and Gamers or the Quartering, like holy fuck, those guys literally have nothing to say.
Well, the Quartering, it's listen. I'm not as.
These guys, level. You need to be. They're for the fans. They're obsessed with being consumers and like cater to me, the consumer. And you're like, go fuck yourself.
Why would you want that?
This is so anti-art. This is so anti-creation. Like, go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, you're just gonna encourage people to be very predictable and
pandering. They want the same thing that like Anita Sarkeesian wants. They want to be pandered to.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking people. Yep. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. Anyway, so thanks for joining us for this first ever edition of Zoobox Gaming. I'm sure within like a year we'll have another one. I don't know what game we're all gonna play next. I guess you guys might play Ghost of Tsushima. So if you guys,
I'm gonna play it.
If Dan buys it, I'll try to download it.
Well, just tell him to buy it.
He won't. He won't. He's gonna be hanging out on door stoops with his balls hanging out. Like, where's the team? Did you see that picture I sent to the podcast?
I did. I saw the picture.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. I think Brian's got to pee.
I do. Holy shit, dude.
Rectamundo. All right. Good night.